Mind is dominating this earth of ours. Every day, you
Where do you want to go past?
Have a little walk around. Yeah, the light from the floor.
Annoying.
I reckon it'll be like.
Really? I thought he was a singer. Produce a musical like Dracula. Sing like it. Next hour.
My name is Jonathan Harker. Perhaps you have heard the name. Perhaps not. Some years ago, I was asked by my employers to carry documents of sale for a number of properties in England across Europe to a castle situated in Transylvania. A country I had never before heard of, and to bring them to the attention of the nobleman who lived there. His name you will, I am sure, recognize. It was Count Dracula. And from the moment I embarked on this journey, my life would change, and I would experience such horrors that no sane man could possibly tolerate without being changed forever. I still look back on that time with disbelief. For like you, I was entirely innocent of what existed beyond my own narrow view of the world. The experience of these horrors came close to destroying me completely. Even now I find it painful to recollect.
Jonathan, you were gone so long I feared for you. You said you were just going for a walk to clear your head. Now, I see you engaged in some sort of public meeting. Who are all these people? What is their business here at the Abbey in the dark?
I haven't asked them, dear Mina. Perhaps they are drawn here by the same strange power that has impelled me to walk these ruins these last few nights. Perhaps something speaks to them in the same way it speaks to me.
Stuff and nonsense, my dear. All that is behind us now. What happened to us then is like an old story in a newspaper. In time it is forgotten and people move on. Dracula is gone. We saw him turn to dust.
I know, my dear wife, but there is something in my blood that tells me we are not safe. I cannot put it into words, but there is some horror still out there, and it is close.
Jonathan, you must calm yourself. You are upsetting these good people. Come, there is nothing to fear. I will take you home. Come. Oh, good people, there is nothing further to see here. I suggest you make your way on the path along the pond towards the Abbey. Huh? Good night, and God bless. Come. Jonathan, this way. It is nothing, Jonathan. Come.
My brothers went to sea. They were brave men. They knew the risks that mariners run, the perils of the deep ocean. They travelled from east to west, their ship, the Demeter, carrying whatever cargo it was bid, until that fateful day, when their cargo were crates of soil, collected from Port Varna, They wrote to me to say they would be passing through Whitby and asked if I would like to join them. So I journeyed here, keen and excited to see my brothers again. And when I arrived, I was told that Demeter had been spotted just on the horizon. And that was when the storm broke.
I was in Sweden, waiting for news of my husband, who was first mate on the Demeter, and it was not until I received a letter containing clippings from the Whitby Gazette that I heard the dreadful news.
The storm came out of nowhere, and it was the most violent that anyone could remember. There was a searchlight on the east cliff, helping ships come into the harbour to safety. And the Demeter was caught in the beam of this light, running ahead of the wind, the sails flapping, and there, tied to the wheel, something that once was human. The Demeter was thrown on the sand, on the beach below the east cliff, and as it did so, a giant black dog leapt from the deck and disappeared.
It is here. I know it. On the watch last night, I saw it, like a man, tall and thin and ghostly pale. I crept up behind it and I gave it my knife, but my knife passed straight through it, empty as the air. I will find it. It is in the hold, perhaps in one of those boxes. This is from the captain's logbook. He recorded all of my husband's words and actions. What he saw sent them all mad. My husband's last words were, "He is there. I know the secret now. The sea will save me from him, and that is all that is left."
Her husband and my brothers faced a horror so terrifying that they would rather throw themselves into the waves than face it. There was something on the Demeter that night. And friends, after further study, we believe that that creature, that monster, is here, with us, amongst us in the shadows. We advise you all to be on your guard. The danger has not passed. It is here. We have sworn to destroy it. But for now, friends, you must go. Gather your family together. Keep them safe. Stay in the light, out of the shadows, and head towards that house there. With a strip of light, go that way, friends. Look to your own safety, friends. Be on your guard. Go now. Go towards the lights, friends. Head towards those lights over there. Go safely, friends. Tread carefully. Look to your own safety.
My dear friends, you're almost there. Safety is just ahead.
This way. Pass this way. Do not wander to your left, or you will be blinded by the light of the Abbey. Come this way toward me. You will see where you must go.
My dear friends, you're almost there.
We all love a good story, my friends, especially one that has the power to move us. Whether it is to excite our passions in a romance, stir our sense of adventure, or appeal to our better instincts, we all love a good tale. Shakespeare, a teller of tales and universal truths. I wish I could have met him, to have drawn in all he knew of his world and tasted it. Regretfully, I was otherwise engaged. It was around that time that the land of my ancestors was locked in a life or death struggle against invaders, in which I played the leading part. A bastion of faith against the heathens. How I love it. But I have had much leisure time to digest Shakespeare's works.
A moment. You have seen him. I know it.
Did he hypnotize you as once he put a spell on my dear Jonathan?
Did he send you all mad like he did my poor husband?
Did he make you promises? Know you this. His promises are worthless.
That is why we are all here. We all have a reason to hate Dracula for what he has done, and are determined to have our revenge upon him.
For my brother's eternal peace.
For my husband's good name.
For what he did to my Jonathan.
And together, friends, in unity, we will fight our enemy, who is strong, and yet he does have weaknesses. Perhaps you know of some of them.
He is repelled by the sign of the cross, holy water, or any other such blessed object.
He cannot abide the smell of garlic, and he must sleep before sunrise in a box of soil from his homeland. He is vulnerable when he sleeps and can be destroyed by removing his head and driving a stake through his mortal remains.
Silver bullets will do him damage, slow him down, and drain his power.
This much we know, but there must be more.
Our plan is simple. Once before, he was drawn to me to make me his victim. I am hoping that my presence will help to draw him out again. He must have sensed both Jonathan and I nearby, and he will know he is in danger of being exposed unless he can silence us.
He does not know who we are. So we will set a trap, using bait to entice him. He is a creature of instinct, and he thinks himself all-powerful. He will come.
And then we can destroy him once and for all.
It will not be easy. I saw him dead once before, and yet somehow he has come back. We must have missed something.
My poor Mina, you must be brave. This is our best, our only chance to destroy him. Look, we have all these people here. They will play their part. And anyway, I have my silver bullets.
We will wait in the shadows. Do not be afraid. We will be nearby.
All you need do is bring him here. Yes. Good luck and God bless.
When my husband first told me of his nightmare in Castle Dracula, I did not believe him. When I journeyed to the hospital where he lay, I thought he must have had a breakdown, that his stories of a blood-sucking monster in human form were the ravings of a lunatic. But there was something in his manner. The madman is convinced that what he says is true, but my dear Jonathan, he told his story with a sense of disbelief, as though he himself doubted what he was saying. It was as if he had lived out a nightmare, but his memory, his recollection of details was so precise. I was convinced he was telling the truth. And then, when we returned to England, it soon became clear that his worst imaginings were real. Count Dracula was real, not some fairy tale to frighten the curious. We fought the creature, we drove him into his lair, and we finished him.
And yet he is still here. I wonder by what means. My dear Miss Mina, my apologies. Mrs. Harker, I hope you are well. How long has it been? I feel that I am meeting with an old friend. How fortunate to stumble across you here. What a pleasant coincidence. But you are alone. Allow me to offer you my arm. It has been a long time since I saw this symbol. It is discomforting to me, as if someone stood on my grave.
Perhaps you will find this more discomforting. Oh. Do not approach him, let him pass. I have wounded him. He is injured. He will now have to return to his lair. We could follow him there and destroy him. Something's not right. This isn't right. No, do not lose faith now. He is wounded. He will be leaving a blood trail. We could follow it. His lair must be nearby. Friends, go carefully now. Tread carefully. Follow the blood trail. We will find him and we will destroy him, but carefully. Let us stick together. Stick together, friends. Tread carefully.
My hand. So sorry.
That is it, my friends. Keep moving on the ramp. There is still space down here. Before we do anything, let me tell you this. It is out of the lore and experience of the ancients and all those who have studied the powers of the undead. When they become such, there comes with the change the curse of immortality. They cannot die, but must go on age after age, adding new victims and multiplying the evils of the world. For all that die from the preying of the undead become themselves undead and prey on their kind. And so the circle goes on ever widening, like as the ripples from a stone thrown in the water. You would, in time, when you had died, have become a Nosferatu, as they say in Eastern Europe, and would have all time made more of these undeads that have so filled us with horror. The career of this unhappy dear lady is just begun. Those children whose blood she sucks are not, as yet, so much the worse. But if she live on, undead, more and more they lose their blood, and by her power over them they come to her, and so she draw their blood, and with that so wicked mouth. But if she die in truth, then all cease, the tiny wounds of the throat disappear, and they go back to their place unknowing ever of what has been, but of the most blessed of all. When this now undead be made to rest as true dead, then the soul of the poor lady who we love shall again be free. Instead of working wickedness by night, and growing more debased in the assimilating of it by day, she shall take her place with the other angels. My friends, congratulations! The creature, the devil that we all feared, that once I believed I had finally seen destroyed, once again face its destruction. It was I, Professor Abraham Van Helsing, who suggested to Jonathan and Mina Harker that they come here to Whitby once again to holiday, for I knew that if the fiend knew of the presence of two of his most implacable foes, then his pride would not be able to bear it and he would return. And so he has. Dracula walks the ruins of Whitby again, but this time he will not leave. But how to draw him out from the darkness to the light? I have studied many books, my friends. There is a ritual, a ceremony for the summoning of the vampire. I have instructed my vampire hunters in this ceremony, and they have proved to be most apt pupils. So now, my friends, you will see something that has not been seen in this land these many hundreds of years. The ritual to summon the vampire. May God guide our hand.
Dust is dust. Death is death.
What a performance! A little melodramatic for my taste. Here I am. I stand before you, dragged out of the darkness. So what would you do with me now? Is it to be a stake in the sword, my head struck off and my body consumed by fire? My name, Dracula, is a byword for all that is evil in this world. The vampire is like a plague. It must be wiped out with science and technology. It has no place in the modern world. And yet, how many of you do not secretly crave my powers? Even now in your hearts, when I am completely at your mercy, you are thinking, can he be bargained with? You wonder if I could bestow my gift of eternal life on you. If perhaps there is some way of avoiding all the unpleasantness of having to consume the blood of your friends and families. After all, with power comes responsibility. Here is something for you to ponder. Supposing I was to take a victim every week, and by feeding on them, turn them into a vampire like myself. On the first night, there will be two of us, myself and my victim, who must now also feed. The next week, we both feed. Now we are 4, now 8, now 16. After 30 weeks, how many are we? We are 107 million. The chances you are standing next to a vampire is, I would say, very likely. As for you summoning me, I hate to disappoint you, my friends, but it is I who has summoned you. These hunters are not as they appear. They belong to me. Once I had picked off one of their number, it did not take long until they were all my slaves. They have helped me gather you together and move you from place to place, at each point giving you the idea that somehow I was the one being hunted. You followed them blindly, believing you were to witness my final destruction. Curiosity got the better of you. You started to show your true colors, your own twisted bloodlust, just like a vampire. You stalked your quarry, led by these hunters you trusted, were set on revenge against me. Here she is, beautiful, is she not? They will all be forever young, forever in my service. And now, my friends, I must take my leave of you. I have so much to do. I'm sure my people here will enjoy your company. They will find you most refreshing. But do not think of this as farewell. Who knows? One night, a night much like this, you will think of me as you awake from a troubled sleep, and I will be there!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Time Will Tell Theatre. Thank you, Camel Productions, for these fantastic lights. Thank you to the Whitby Community Choir for providing us with our Vampire Hunters, and to the students present and past of the Scarborough CU acting course. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the night is young. It's not even 8 o'clock yet. It's so mild it could be summertime. Don't go away, stay here. We'll be back at 8 o'clock. We'll be repeating the whole performance again. So if you haven't seen all of it, then do hang around. Of course, you can get yourself something to eat and drink up here, or just wander around these incredible ruins and get yourself some photographs. Whatever you do, thank you. Especially thank you to those of you who are members of English Heritage, because you're helping us put on events like this so that we can all have fun at Halloween.